All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Pantzmcgee's Path of Exile, kind of an update video on our Archmage 3.26 Vortex of Projection build. And yeah, we've come a pretty good way. It's about day 5-ish. I didn't get to play as much Monday and Tuesday as I'd have liked, but you know that happens. When you're a part-time content creator, you do still have to do your day job. So, but yeah, so a couple of things that I wanted to go over in this video after doing a little bit of path building and a little bit more playing around with stuff is we'll just start it off with intensify. So if you've played the classic frostbolts build prior to this with Ice Nova. Intensify was, on that. Intensify is still better. We were thinking maybe that Arcane Surge could possibly overtake it, but not quite there yet. I think Arcane Surge is still a great option for early maps because it's very affordable. Obviously, getting through the campaign, you don't have to get lucky and get a chance orb to get Intensify or to get Arcane Surge. I mean, you just kind of have it. So it's a great early option, but I think switching to Intensify as soon as possible is a good choice. The one caveat I will say is, so the reason it's so good is really because of this node right here, the Caster Mastery, which is your Intensifies get an additional maximum stack, so it goes up to 4 rather than 3. I would say for early game, I would maybe still keep Arcane Surge, and I personally really like the 25% chance to open nearby chests when you cast a spell, just for the early maps, just doing that early clear, because you have enough damage, and it's kind of nice to just have that quality of life early into maps. So that's the kind of the one caveat. If you want more damage, straight up and like Intensify is, that's it. That's going to do more than Arcane Surge. But yeah, early on, I think switching out those two gems is totally valid. So that was kind of the big first one. So what kind of gear upgrades have I done so far? So something that I've been playing around with is a Death's Rush. It's a very silly ring that grants you adrenaline. I happen to have basically enough resists from my gear, and I just tweaked it out a little bit by quality resisting this one as well. So I was sitting pretty good, so I've been playing around with it. It's fun. Is it required? No, it's totally not. It's just an option in there if you want to try it out. It gives you some more recovery options on kills, so it makes your mapping faster, and same with the adrenaline on kill effect. Again, just we're going for as quick clears as we possibly can. So that's kind of the one thing that's a little bit different than the guide. So some of the other upgrades we did from the last video was we did go ahead and get a 6th link. I'm not sure if I incorporated this, but I did get an extremely lucky roll on this with the 22% chance to suppress. And I said, you know what? Because I got that, let's try to get the 100% suppress without using a flask, the 10% one that also gives phasing. So I got really lucky with this. And then from there, my big upgrades basically were kind of to get more survivability. So I looked at my rings. I did have something on here before with Death Rush that was very similar to this Amethyst ring, but not quite as good, mostly because it was a lower level one. So I was wearing 2 of those at the time. And then I started upgrading my boots and my mitts. These, very common thing, as you can see with the necrotic armor as well, is grabbing just a rather affordable, cheap, fractured piece. It doesn't have to be, T1. It's the first week. There's probably not going to be any, and if they are, they're going to be hyper expensive. So something like this, T2 life, if you get a really nice increased evasion or energy shield, it's a great option. I really like on a lot of my gear getting the prefixes, and the reason for that is I like to roll with the chaos, the envy shard essence. There we go, the Essence of Envy, to get the guaranteed chaos resist early, and then from there I basically just, the only thing I'm really going for example with these mitts would be, I really want that chance to spell suppress spell damage. So these are probably not going to be the first gloves that you get into map. This is kind of like, I would say this is the first endgame glove is the way to put it. So once you have, I would say roughly 4 to 8 div, depending on the prices of the bases and the prices of the essences. That's probably a good goal to craft one of the different pieces of gear. So if you're crafting 3, I would save up for about 12 divish, for each, like basically 4 for each of them, right? And look for bases that are about a divine to maybe 2 divine, and then work on trying to get those suppressed skills. So that was kind of my big upgrades here. Again, got super lucky. I think I hit these in under 50 essences, which is crazy. Yeah, great start to the league. So this on the boots in particular was a little bit different. I did chaos for the fracture because I just got kind of what was up, and for this one I just rolled with the essence that gives movement speed. Can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but yeah. So boots are nice because there's a couple essences that you can actually use on them. You can also do so you can do some other stuff too if you want to try to get the higher, like the higher tier suppress, fractured or something like that. But for these boots, just don't worry about that. Just get something that costs about 1 or 2 divine as a base that gives you something like life is really good. If you happen to find a good spell suppress, that's great, but honestly we're probably going to be rolling on them. So one thing to remember too is you want to make sure if you're going for the suppress, you make sure it's eye level 86. 86 is the magic number that you want. So but yeah, so that was my big upgrades that I had been doing Monday. Kind of did a bunch of farming on Sunday, early Monday, and then I was like, okay, let's go ahead and get these upgrades in. I also made a Stygian, which is ridiculous. I blame streamer luck again. I hit it once and got that, which is stupid. So, and then the last couple of upgrades that I did last night were Azuri's Phobal. I went and got a regular one that didn't have the spell leech on it anymore, and it's also not corrupted, but it has perfect mana and perfect increased mana rolls on it. So went ahead and life and mana modified that up. Basically the kind of options here to make it better is to try to double corrupt it, pray that you get something good, and pray it doesn't poof. But I'll spend some more time maybe trying some of those out. And then the other reason that I switched that out was because on my Katava's Thirst I went ahead and got the lightning damage leeched as life, so that helped keep your life leech going, and you still get the spell leech from the node, so you kind of have both kinds of leeches, which is great. So I think that's all the gear upgrades on the tree here. If you notice, we do have kind of the very close to the end game looking build. The only thing left really is to come over here, grab this arcane surge node and this triple. You don't necessarily need to do that, but it is, it's kind of the final push whenever you're getting up into the high 90s and level 100, of course. So but yeah, upgrades from here, so in the last video I talked about how I got lucky and got a Unnatural Instinct for pretty cheap. And then Light of Meaning, which it's very affordable right now, or at least when I was looking at them, they were also 3 divine. I was a little worried. The first ones I saw were 8 and 10 divine-ish, but again, not a lot of people are playing mana stacking right now, so you might be able to find one of these pretty affordable, which is great. So that's 6 divine. I'm assuming Unnatural Instinct is going to go up. People are going to start getting them and investing in them. So, and then this healthy mind, I went ahead and just bought it. I I tried, I think, 100 cobalt jewels. This is like the one time I did not get lucky, and I just could not corrupt cobalt. So I was like, you know what, that's fine, I'll just go ahead and buy it. So I bought it for like a div or something like that. But this one I will probably go ahead and get rid of eventually, and the reason that we will be doing that is to get in something like ancestral visions to give us ailment immunity. Okay, so we've talked about the spell suppress, gear upgrades. I think that's about it for the path of building stuff as well. Oh, so the last thing I want to talk about was future upgrades. So looking at this POB, the big things that are needing upgrades right now are my weapons. They are the same ones that I was using on the last POB. I have not touched them. They're very solid, and they do enough damage, is the way I'd put it. However, we can make these much better. We can get a lot more mana on them, and we can get additional spell damage. And on this one particularly, we can definitely get more cast speed, which is great. So that's my two big upgrades for damage that I'm looking at. And then the other one is looking at ailment immunity. So I did not include that in the actual building, like the guide that I've created, but that will be kind of the next level after Endgame, or the Endgame question mark. And the way you do that, there's a couple ways. One, the laughable throw money at it way is get a mage blood, but I know everyone doesn't want to do that. The much easier and reasonable way is to get there's a mod on your boots that you can get to assist with that, and ancestral visions. So basically with the spell suppress cap, we can do it that way. There's a couple other ways too, but those are probably going to be the easiest ways, and I will go ahead and add those in there. If you need them right now, or need to figure out how to do that, I know Zizaran has his guide up from last season. Feel free to check that out, and he'll have the boots on there, and I think he even has a guide on how to craft them, which is great. But yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to give you all some info as well. So I am going on vacation next week, so I will be a little out, having some fun. It's just unfortunate that the timing of this, thankfully I got to play on week 1, but I won't get to keep going and keep pushing until I get back. So, but yeah, I'm going to create some more content, and, try to leave y'all with a little bit to go for next week. Mostly on probably how to craft these, or just crafting some of them as examples, just to show you. I don't think it's particularly hard, but sometimes it's nice to get a little bit of a refresher, or if you're completely new to path of building, just someone showing you the ropes a little bit. So, but yeah, thanks again for checking out the video, watching it. If you really liked it, or any of that good stuff, please do like, subscribe, all the fun social media stuff. And yeah, I will try to send out some more stuff this next week, and I look forward to getting back to streaming whenever I get back from vacation. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week 1 and into week 2. So bye y'all.